racing. Welcome to our continued coverage coming from the Africa Off-Road Championship Racing Series, proudly brought to you by N1 4x4, your Toyota and Land Cruiser four-wheel drive experts in association with Pirelli. Zeerust, round number 2, and the rains had come to the Northwest Province, meaning that it was going to be a gnarly, muddy race. The landing strip was going to be dry for now, but the story of the day was going to be a wild one. Incredible lineups coming from round number 1 at Hartbeesfontein, and everyone had enjoyed the show so much, they came along and joined the party for round number 2. Monel was down there, making sure that everyone was locked and loaded and good to go. But we were going to see a completely different kind of event this time around, and clean plastics, clean bikes, and clean cars were not going to be clean after lap number 1. N1 4x4 brought in their entire rig to show off exactly what they are all about, and they were going to go racing as well in the Land Cruiser D44. That is one fast car. Once everyone was set up in the pits in the early morning, the vibe was strong, and everyone was starting to get themselves ready for the first event of the day, which, as always, is the Kiddies race. Small entries coming in from the bikes and quads, but nonetheless, we went racing. A slightly different layout for the kids this time around. They ended off last season and the opening round of 2018 with a fairly open track. This time around, they were going to be going into the bush, changing the format of the race completely because they'd have to go blind lap number 1. First of all, they were getting their trophies for round number 1 from Hartbeesfontein. Then it was rev it up and get going. Right on the edge of the airstrip is where we began the race, but going out onto the track, virgin terrain, and it would be the number 40 of Julio Ferreira, one of the fastest kids and a big threat for the win this time around to open up our racing account. Colin Fasaki growing in inches every time I see the kid on the 85cc Kawasaki. He would go out there and try and chase down his first win of the Africa Off-Road Championship Race Series. Just 4 kids going out there: Julio Ferreira, Colin Fasaki, Johan van Mokte, and Caitlin van der Merwe on the 401. Van Mokte on one of the smaller Pee-wee 50s. But Julio Ferreira, strong as always. And this is what I was talking about, a slightly different format for the kids this time around. They were out there by themselves until they came into the open area just towards the end of the pit run before they could get the high five and see mums and dads on the sideline. Quite a short track this time around. Normally the kids are around about 30 to 35 laps come the end of play. This time it was almost 50 laps come the end of it. The man to beat, as always, was Julio Ferreira. 49 laps in the can, which meant after lap number 3 he was in the lappers for the rest of his day of racing. Johan van Mokte did a good enough job to get 47 laps in the can, and Colin Fasaki 46. So Colin is a man on the rise and starting to really climb that ladder and bring home results. The number 12 of Johan van Mokte, 47 laps. Very solid for the Pee-wee. I think that's a Pee-wee 80cc machine. You can hear it revs a little bit higher than the 50s. And lap by lap, the kids were doing a great job. The track, you could see, was not dusting up at all, which gave us an idea of what the main track was going to look like for the seniors when they went out a little bit later on. Freight train racing, and a very, very short lap this time around meant that the kids were in good company pretty much every second corner. No one was going to be catching the flagman though. Another win on the season. That's 2 for 2 for Julio Ferreira. 49 laps, beating out 47 laps of Johan van Mokte. Just 2 laps behind on a much smaller machine. That shows racing is going to get nice and tight. Just the one car once again this time around. Janko and Zian van Aert going out there in the 63 machine. No competition, as their closest rivals unfortunately could not make the trip, meaning that they had plain sailing the whole way through. 23 problem-free laps come the end of their race. We'll be hoping that the rest of the guys can make it into racing by the time we go forward in just one short month's time as we tear through the season and look forward into round number 3 of the championship. For now, Janko and Zeerust van Aert were just doing their glory run, making sure that their machine constantly develops, and we have seen that the whole way through last season. Constant development, but unfortunately this time around, a mechanical robbing them of their win. Here's the results, how things played out come the end of the kids' race at Zeerust. It was Julio Ferreira on 49 laps on the bikes, beating out Van Mogte and Janko and Zeerust van Aert. 23 laps, but they were on a predicted 50 lap come the end. Join us after the break as it starts getting muddy and wild for the senior bikes and quads.